Hello, everyone. Can everybody hear me? So today we want to give you a preview of Arkio, a new collaborative design tool for architecture that we've been working on. Now, I'm not an architect myself, but I always had a great love for architecture. And for a long time, I've been fascinated with the idea of doing architectural design inside virtual and augmented reality. To not be bound by the limitations of flat screen design tools and inputs, but actually stand inside a building as you're designing it. So even though VR has been used in architecture for a while, it's been mostly used for design reviews of models already done in flat screen design tools like Revit, Rhino, or SketchUp. VR really hasn't been used that much as a creative medium in architecture. Now, for those of you that have tried creative VR apps like Tiltbrush or Medium and experienced the amazing creative freedom you get when designing, painting, or sculpting inside VR, you might find this to be a little bit strange. The fact of the matter is that VR and AR have the potential to become the ultimate creative medium for designers and non-designers alike. And that is especially true for architecture. So instead of sketching on a piece of paper, what if you could sketch just as easily in 3D and then step into your sketch as if it were real? What if you could build a scale model in minutes instead of days and stand inside it and experience it fully with modifications to it? And what if you could bring other people into your design session, show them your ideas, and brainstorm with them about new ideas in real time wherever they are in the world? So with Arkio, we want to reimagine what architectural design can be like when you're not bound by the limitations of current workflows, flat screen design tools, when you can literally pull shapes out of thin air as if by magic.
So hi everyone. So I'm an architect myself, and I've been working in this field for almost 10 years. And I specialized in use of technology to help designers at Meccano to work smarter using building information modeling, computational design, and virtual reality. I've seen and witnessed with my own hands the strengths and limitations of the current tools that we use in our industry, and also how architects like to use them in the creative profession. Now, there's something magical about our design process that remains even after university. Architects are never really done designing. They always like to explore new options, new things to try out. And together with our clients and our stakeholders, we're going through these options and coming to our final results. It's getting our ideas out of our head and seeing them in a simplified form often helps to validate ideas. And you also need that to talk about the next steps. So that process itself is a bit chaotic. New options and changes are being tested all the time. And this often happens in offline tools that are not work sharing and not connected, or still on pieces of paper with no actual scale or relation to the building elements. Our digital process is partly broken when we look at how creative sessions work. Spending our team another night at the office to just finish our deliverables on time for the next presentation. When we look at how we work, things haven't changed much for decades. We still focus on creating paper deliverables. We print our designs on pieces of paper as if they were fixed, just to add a little extra markup and in the end go back to our computers and do some final tweaks. It's not unusual to see designers just work all night just to get some documents printed and have to repeat the same process the days after. So what if we could do that in a more flexible and easy way and using more smarter tools? We could partly solve part of these inefficiencies in the process. We can talk about changes while they're happening, and we can solve problems in real time. And this is where we envision Arkio, like a virtual tracing paper to quickly prototype and test ideas together at scale, using existing 3D context that you already have, or an empty creative canvas. Now, creating a tool like this for AR and VR is not without its challenges. We wanted Arkio to be super simple to use, almost like physical model making, where you can just stack floors, carve into them, pick up objects, slide them on surfaces, and glue them. We wanted you to be able to do all that as if it was like your own hands doing this. So you can literally pick up your buildings using your hands. We wanted to be able to model at every possible scale. So at the God scale, looking down on our designs, getting the big picture and overview, but also in one-to-one scale, where changes can just happen on the fly, and you can model as if you would have superpowers picking up objects.
Now, we wanted Arkio to run on mobile devices, to really give our users the freedom to use Arkio wherever they want and however they want. And that means to be able to run on a new generation of mobile VR and AR headsets at frame rate, as well as mobile phones and tablets. And we wanted Arkio to be all about collaboration, to easily bring people with you into a space and to carve out new ideas simultaneously in real time. So to accomplish all of this, we developed our own volumetric modeling engine to enable us to do real-time modeling operations at frame rate on mobile devices. Arkio is basically an object-based modeler, and it maintains a spatial database of all objects in the scene and their relationship to other objects. And that means that the model remains flexible and editable at any point in time. Now, in using this spatial database, we go to our own collision detection to give you that physical feel when working with the model. So you can basically bash into objects, slide on surfaces, snap to edges and corners, and so on. Now, instead of just talking about this, we'd love to show it to you. But first, I have to say that showing Arkio on a 2D screen really doesn't do it justice. You really have to go into VR to experience this fully. Also, please note that Arkio is still in alpha. And as you know, when you do a live demo of alpha software on stage, in front of a big audience, anything can happen, and most likely will. So, Johan, you want to jump into VR?
Yep.
And let's see if we can get this running. There we go.
Okay. So we are now in Arkio. Welcome, everyone. And let's show how easy it is to create objects. So currently, I can very easily create a geometry like that, just stacking it on top of other geometry. And I can also carve into that geometry by just pushing the shape inside. I'm able to edit the geometry by just hovering over it with my laser. I can also do that by picking any of the lines. But I can also reach out into the geometry itself and use it like a physical model, but then in a smarter way with snapping and automatic gluing. Let me delete that block. So using that, I can quickly prototype some ideas. I can also distort objects by just picking any of the features in there. And just do some crazy design ideas on the fly. Ah, hi there, Hilmar.
Hi, Johan.
So the fun thing about this is that all these things, all these features are available in real time in multi-user. So what I'm doing here, Hilmar can help me and join me in this. So what do you think of the design right here, Hilmar?
I think it looks pretty good, but what about if we modify it a little bit, maybe change the height of it a bit, something like this?
That looks good. Let's just add some more detail in here,
Okay.
voids. And also stretch this one to fit the road a bit. Looks better.
Looking good. So I'm going to model a building here to the side of it while you tell the people a little bit more about how to use Arkio.
Okay. So let's show our user interface. So we keep everything very simple, and you can just hover over any of the existing modeling tools in Arkio by clicking it. You can also put your user interface somewhere in the scene where you find comfortable, or extend it in some comfortable position you like to work in. You can also duck things back together, or just put it back on our default position, which is the wristband. So I can show my tools and hide my tools by rotating my wristband. And when I look closer, I see some objects in my paint palette, which are my favorites. So let's just paint one of those trees. somewhere in the park there.
I'm going to add some people here as well. Let me see.
Okay, let's
Okay.
just join you in there. So, and not hoping. So let's see. I'm going to teleport on top of this roof here to experience the design in 1:1 scale. So this would be the actual scale of our thing we just modeled. Let's just help you a bit, Hilmar. Hi there.
Can you see me?
I can see you. Let's just put this tree somewhere on that building over there. Maybe just make another copy over there. Maybe we add another one in the park. Hilmar, I think we can put this building maybe better on the other side of the block. Let's just
try it.
The entire building like that. Would that be better? Like have a little park here?
I think it feels pretty good. What if we add maybe a little bit more detail to it, something like this?
Yeah, but we have to stretch it a bit, I think.
Okay.
Maybe let's just put that tree in there. So, things look pretty good.
Looking great. So what if we want to model something a little bit more complex than this?
Okay, let's just teleport up to the God scale again, and let's move a bit more to this area over here. So currently we only modeled with solid shapes, but I'm also able to make compiled shapes like a stacked shape, which automatically adds floor height to my volume. And let's just pick up this volume and line it somewhere here. I can also do these booleans in those volumes, so they work a bit the same. And I can also keep stacking objects on top of objects like that to make floor height.
I think that looks pretty cool. So how about if we add a penthouse?
That's a good idea. Let's just add a hollow shape for that. So hollow shapes are parametric and they contain a wall thickness that's fixed. So let's just make a normal solid shape there. And when we start carving into them, it's starting to make windows. So we can easily just prototype interior spaces like this. And let's just teleport in there just to see how it is. Looks pretty good here, Hilmar. If you like, you can join me in.
Okay, coming. Hey.
Hi there.
Great view.
Yeah, it looks quite nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It's a barbecue area, right?
Yeah. So what do you think about the ceiling height? Do you think it should be maybe a little bit higher, like this?
Yeah, that feels better for me.
Like that?
Yeah.
Why don't I maybe add a skylight to get a little bit more light in?
That's also great, I think. More luxurious.
Okay.
Let me add some chairs over here and maybe add a small person so we can get some scale reference. And let's just copy one of those trees over there. One of those. Yes.
Nice. So I think with this kind of view, we should add a balcony on the outside. What do you think?
Yeah, let me move there. So let's just select my modeling tool, create a little slab on the outside, maybe create a little balustrade like that, stretch it a bit. Let's also add one here so we don't fall down. So, something like that.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. What do you think about the height of this? Should it be a little bit higher, like this?
Yeah, I think that would be better, otherwise we fall.
Okay.
And
pretty cool. So it's probably around noon right now. What would this look like sometime like during the early morning?
So let's just have a look. If we change the time back to 6 o'clock in the morning, it would be something like that in August in London. When we go back to 7 o'clock at night, it would look something like that.
That's beautiful. So I think this calls for a photo, Johan.
Oh, let me grab my camera. Okay, cheese.
Peace.
Looks great.
Catch you later.
Let's follow you up there. So select one of the tools and let's look a bit at the creation we just made. So this would be our model at 1:20 scale. It's pretty fun.
I think this is excellent. So what if we need to think about the program requirements for the site itself?
So Arkio keeps track of all the objects and sizes. We just have to add some programmatic information to it by coloring some of these stacks. And you see it starts updating my totals. Let's just add some more different programs to see how that works. So let's just add maybe some offices in there, that tower, and maybe some commercial area in the bottom plinth.
Okay.
Then all of these sizes are updated on the fly. So when I change my void, it would automatically convert my new numbers and update the numbers. And I can also show my totals in the scene if I have to have meetings with my clients to talk about the program area requirements.
So Johan, how about if we add maybe a tower somewhere like in this area here?
That feels about right. Let's just make a new design option for that, so we can always go back to our empty field. So I'm going to duplicate this scene, and in that scene, I'm going to just move that panel over here. Maybe make a blue stacked tower like that, and rotate it a bit to fit the road. Something like that.
Yeah, looking good. Let me just add maybe a bit more detail to it, like this.
That looks a bit less boring.
Okay.
Maybe let's keep that.
So what about something a bit more exotic than this?
Okay, let me make another option for that. So let's go here, maybe just model a flat object like this. Align it somewhere here and slightly rotate it and whoop.
Oh, nice.
Array it all the way up there.
Let's try something crazy. Let me add like a void through the middle of this tower. What do you think about that?
That looks pretty fascinating. Let's just have a look here.
Hey.
Yeah, looks good. So notice how the areas are recalculating my usable floor area when I'm holding things in my hand. So let's just put this thing over here. And in the meantime, I'm going to jump into one-to-one scale, because the fun and nice part of this is now we have different options. So I can toggle between my different options and really discuss in real time with other people the changes we just did. So I think we should just keep this rotational tower. It looks quite nice. I'm just going to close my options dialog.
Looking good, yeah. So can you switch to the iPad view, please? So as I said, Arkio runs on mobile devices as well as AR, VR devices. So I have Arkio here on my iPad. And with that, I can see everything that's happened in the scene. I can see Johan working here in the scene visually. I can even make suggestions to him using the iPad. So what if we do like a design somewhere around there, Johan? What do you think?
Let me add something. So something like that. Maybe align to the park a bit more.
Okay. What if we add a tower here? Is that a good idea?
Might be blocking our beautiful park again. Maybe just make it a bit tinier and put it all the way here.
Okay. So in addition to looking at the scene like this, I can go into AR view. Let's see if we can place the model somewhere here on stage. There we go. So using AR, I can basically easily navigate the scene, look at everything that's happening, look at Johan here working on the design. I can even make alterations to it. So if I want to suggest this should be a different category, I just paint it red.
Oh.
What do you think about that? Sorry?
Yeah, it's interesting to put some industrial area here.
And, well, maybe we just shouldn't have it there, so I'll just like delete it.
Yeah, that's better. I think we should keep this up. So with all these changes we just did, these experiments and options, we can export all these out to 3D formats, so we can, so the Revit and Rhino team can take it from here. We can also export images or the images or the program area data that came out of Arkio. Or we start a new collaborative session where we import 3D models from other programs, import images as reference, or program area requirements to do some program play. And the nice thing of this is all collaborative together, so this enables you to work in a lot better way.
Thanks, Johan.
Okay.
Can you switch back to the main feed, please?
Yes.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Just to summarize, Arkio is all about collaboration, about easily bringing people into your design, brainstorming with them in real time, wherever they are in the world. It's super intuitive and easy to use. You can literally pick it up if you do it like once or twice. It's still a powerful modeler. You can do all kinds of crazy things with it. It integrates with your current physical and digital workflows. And basically, it works on a wide variety of devices, from high-end VR headsets to mobile VR, AR headsets to phones and tablets. Now, this is just the start of our journey. We'd love to get your feedback on what we're doing. Arkio is currently in alpha, but we plan to release a beta later this summer. So if you're interested to help us shape the future of architectural design, please sign up on our website for the beta, or come see us after the talk. And you can also check out Arkio on the show floor later this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yep.
How many times do you see a software demo done live that doesn't work? That was alpha code. Well done, guys. Brilliant, brilliant.
Thank you.
We have time for a question. Do we have? Yeah. Okay.
That gentleman over
at
there.
the front there was first to put his hand up.
Fantastic, great demo, really great stuff. What else is to come that isn't in the alpha? What's your next thing? Or is it just polishing that till it's ready? Love to get my hands on that and stuff. That looks great.
I'm just going to repeat the question so people can hear. Thanks, Martin. What else is to come? I'd love to get my hands on that. When was it?
Yes, so when can we get hands on it? What's missing from that? What's coming?
What's missing? What's coming in the development pipe?
So basically, where we are now is that we feel pretty good about the current feature set we have. And for us, it's all about polishing the current feature set, making it super stable, so people can actually use it on actual projects. Now, there may be a few things that are kind of coming up to just make the workflow a little bit easier to bring stuff into and out of Arkio. But the first kind of release will be pretty much this. We plan to release the beta sometime later in the summer. Now, this is software, so anything can happen. It might be the fall, but this is our plan. And we'd definitely love to get your feedback on it. And in terms of what then comes after that, it's going to be all about making it easier to work basically with other design tools, bringing things kind of dynamically in and out of Arkio, as well as kind of expanding kind of the modeling capabilities of the core app itself.
Go on, we've got time for one more question since a lot of hands jumped up. Yes, sir.
How many people can you have in there at any one time?
How many people can you have in there at any one time?
So probably about 6 to 8, so it works well.
All right, thanks very much, guys.
Thank you very much.